Okay, so today we will discuss routing in React.js. Okay, in this we will discuss the normal routing and how we can create a 404 like page not found component, and we can create the dynamic. We will create the dynamic URLs. Okay, we pass the IDs, and we will use some hooks for this. Those hooks are dependent on the routers, and these are not related to the React APIs, the core React APIs. And we will also discuss the difference between the link and NavLink. And after that, we will create a layout, multiple layout, how we can create the layout for the admin panel, and how we can create the layout for the other users, front end users, and we have the other user like client. So we can create this type of layout as well. Okay, so let's start from the routing. So first of all, I'm just going to, I have here. So for the React routing, we just use a React router DOM, and in this we have a built-in component like browser router, route, and switch. Okay, browser router is the router implementation for the HTML5 browser. Means browser router is generally used for all the components. Okay, it's the parent of the all components. So we will use this as a parent of app components. Okay, this gives the facility to create the router for our browsers. Okay, and route is the conditionally show component based on the matching path of the URL. So route is generally used to where we just match the path of our URL with our routes, and switch return only the first matching route rather than all the matching routes. Okay, like we have the several routes, and in these routes we have getting a first matching routes. Okay, then switch will return that first matching route, and it will not go to search in the next. Okay, let's go for the example. As browser router will be the parent, so I am just going in the index file. So here I have already applied, I am just removing the browser router. Okay, I will create this from scratch. Okay, so I'm just going to import browser router. Okay, or browser router is not a part of the React API. Okay, it's a part of React router DOM, like this. Okay, I have imported the browser router, and it will be the parent of all components. So I will call here like this. It will the parent of app. Okay, because app is the parent of all the component we will create. So now browser router is the parent of app. Okay, so next we will go into the app, and we will create here some links. like I'm just removing this, like one link here I'm creating for home. Okay, next link I am creating for like about us page, and next I am creating for contact us. Okay, I'm just for this example I'm just using three links. Okay, so now we will use a property href. Okay, for like, okay, this is the home, and for about us href we will like here about, and for contact contact, like this. So I have created like this. Okay, now let's check on the browser. I'm just going to refresh, and I have a three link here. When I click here, so I'm getting blank. Okay, nothing. Okay, so I will load components on these URLs. Okay, so for this, I just import here. Again, I will import from React router DOM, and I will have here route and switch. Okay, so I have discussed here why we will use the route and switch. Okay, so I will use here switch. Okay, switch, and in this switch we will have a route like, okay, we will create here. So I am just going to create a route for home here. Okay, switch, what will we do switch here? So switch will just use to match the route with the URL. Okay, so I'm just going to create here like path, like blank. Okay, and I will load the component here. Okay, like this. So for home I'm just going to create one component in my component folder like this, home.jsx. Okay, and I'm just using the React snippet to create my component. Okay, so this is home component. Okay, I'm just going to import this in my app component. Import from component slash home. Okay, now I will call like this. Okay, and let's check. So now this is home component is working here. So when I'm going to click here, then this is home component is also working for the about, and this is also working for the contact, because the switch is matching this route to this. Okay, so we need to exact match. We have a attribute here, we have a params here for the route like exact. Okay, exact. Now this will work for the exact URL. Okay, now when we click on the home, so we will get this is home. When we will click on the about us, then this component will not load here. Okay, so exact is used for the exact match. Okay, let's create the another component for about and contact as we have created for the home. React code snippet I'm using for this, and this is about, and I'm also using here a contact.jsx. This is the contact. Okay, so now in the same way I'm just import here about and contact. One more about, and here I'm just going to import contact. So I have created three component home, about and contact, and I'm just creating a route for the about. Okay, about and for contact. This is for the contact, and I will call here in the same way like contact. Now let's check on the browser. So for the about URL, our about component is loading. When I'm click on contact us, our contact component is loading, and when I'm going to click on the home, then home component is loading. Okay, and if I'm just going to create one component like this name. Okay, and I'm just using contact component for this URL. Okay, I'm just going to replace this URL here about. I'm just going to click on about and I'm just replacing. Okay, now now okay. So as I am using exact, I'm just going to remove. I want to show something exact from here. Okay, this is the exact match. Okay. Now I'm just going to refresh again. So for this URL, this is loading the about contact, about component, but there should be uh, load contact component because I'm using a contact component because the switch is matching this about and it is not going to match for this. Okay, when we use exact params here, exact, okay, props here we use, then this switch will match with the exact path. Okay, and exact path will match will here. Okay, so in this way our exact props will work. Okay, this is the routing. Okay, so now when there is no route for this, okay, when there is no route for this, this is showing blank and we want to show there is like a page not found component. Okay, we want to show when there is no route exists, then we want to show like page not found component. So I'm just going to create one more component here, like this is 404 for the page not found dot js using React code snippet, and I'm just create like oops page not found. Okay, I'm also going to import here page not found component. Okay, and for this I will use this route and I will not define not exact or not path props here. I will just pass the component here. Okay, now let's check. Now oops page not found is coming here. So we like anything I'm just passing here. Okay, we will get the oops page not found. Okay, so this is the 404 page not found component. Okay, so now what I have discussed here, we I'm just going over the like link and NavLink. Okay, now when I'm clicking here, then my browser is refreshing. Okay, you can see that here. When I'm going to click, my browser is refreshing. Okay, but React does not load the browser every time on the every click. Okay, it means it's I'm just going to show you. This is the id div root is and here is the app component. So in this id root it just load the component here. Okay, is it does not load all the page like header body other page, it just update the component in this. Okay, and for this purpose it just provide us a I have also in the react router DOM it just provide us a link. Okay, and we will never use a tag in React because it's load the browser. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay. So we will never use a tag because it's load the browser. So we will use link. React router DOM provide us a link components. Okay. In this we will not use href, we will use to. Okay. So I am going to replace href to 2. So I have replaced with 2. Okay. Now let's check. Refreshing. Okay. Now you can see this. Okay. So after use link, then my page, my browser is not loading again. So this is all about single page application in React. Okay. So there is So this is the link. There is another use NavLink. Like we have tabs. When we have tabs, like we have here tabs. Okay, like home, about us, and contact us. When I'm click here on about us, then this about us should be highlighted. Should be like I have just click on that. Okay, so this should be highlighted. So to this highlighted, we have a NavLink. NavLink provide us the like active class, some classes for the styling purpose. Okay, you can see here a special version of the link that will add styling attribute to the render element when it match the current URL. Okay, when it will match this about us, which will match with the current URL, then it will be the highlighted and some CSS and will be applied here. Okay, so let's check this. I'm just going to change this link to NavLink. Okay, so now question is where we will use link if we are using nav link in place of link. Like we have a several link like where there is no CSS needed, like back button, back icon. So we can use the link there. Okay. If we have some tabs, navigations to select to show the select, so we will use link there. Okay. Now I'm just adding. We will use exact as well here on the link. Okay. So I'm just going to add exact for the exact matching the route. Okay, so I'm going to create a class active class name. You can see there are the some coming of the active, some other active style is active, this type of all attribute also coming here. So I'm just giving a class active. Okay, like this one. Okay, for this active we have a app.css here. I'm just going into the app.css and I'm just applying here like color red. Okay, now let's check. So now you can see for the about browser we are getting this highlighted about us when I'm clicking active, when I'm clicking. So navlink we can use for the styling purpose. Okay, so this is the difference between link and navlink. Okay, next we have dynamic routing. Okay, so what is dynamic routing? Like in our URL, like I'm about, and I'm just having some ID here like 12. Okay, so I want to get this ID 12 on my component, and on that id basis I want to get some data from the database, and I want to just hit some http request to the server, and I want to pass as a post request this and as a get request in that http request this. So how we can get, and this can be changed like this. Okay, how we can get this 120 and this type of dynamic value. Okay, this is the dynamic url. So we can, how we can get this into the component, and how we can like create a route for this. Okay, so I'm just going to the app.js. Here is a about, so I'm just changing this about to. Okay, so I can add like this id. If we are passing some name or anything, we can pass this. Okay, so for this we need to change this. Okay, so and in the about component, I'm just going in about components, I will use props. So for id and name I will use like this, props dot match dot params dot id. So we will get id like this, and name. Okay, and I'm just going to interpolate this like this. Okay, so now let's check, and some name here like tech mentor, our youtube channel name. So now we can get the like 120 and tech mentor we can get from the url. So this is all about dynamic url. Okay, now just move to next. So page not found we have already discussed. Now component versus render. Okay, what is component and what is render? So if we want to like, I want to pass some value from here. Okay, from in this home component or in this like contact components, I want to pass some props from there. So how we can pass these props? Okay, so we will use here a function like this. Okay, and we will call this component like this, and we will pass here like tech mentor. Okay, I have passed this. Okay, so in my contact I will use my props and props dot name. So let's go to the browser and check. I'm just going to click on contact us. So I'm getting tech mentor. Okay, so in this way we can pass the props from the routes. Okay, but if we are using in this way, we are not passing any props from the component, then we will use component. Okay, and this is recommended by the React, and otherwise we will use render. Why we will use render? So let's check first, is it is working fine or not. So I'm just going to refresh. So this is working fine. Okay, so why we will use when we are passing a props in this, so why we should use render not components? Because when we will use render this when we will use render, then this will not like create by react create element as we create our components. So it will not create this component from scratch, it's simply reuse this component. Okay, but in the case of component, we when we are passing a props, means we are just sending some data to update our component. So in this way the component will recreate that component. This component will recreate about component, like if we are using component here in place of render, then this will recreate from the scratch. Okay, that's why we use render, and React recommend us to use the render. Okay, this is all about. Now there is, I think, nothing we have. Oh, okay, now hooks. What are, so I didn't cover the hooks for React router DOMs, and I have covered all the hooks for which was using the React core API. So now these are the like hooks like use params, use location, and use history. Okay, so use location like window.location and window.history. This simply works like this, as we will use in the our in the Java scripts. Okay, let's start from the use params. So use params, as we have got the value, as we are getting the value like in this way. Okay, from the props. So we can get this from the hooks as well, and we will use params hook, and this is a part of React router DOM, and I will create like this and assign in a variable param. Okay, I'm just firstly I want to show you in the console.log. Okay, param. Let's check in the console. Which component we are using? We are using about. Okay, so I'm just going 12 and name tech. So now you can see in param, when we are using the use params hook, then we are getting as a object these values id and name. Okay, so we will use this here like destructuring like id and name. Okay, and I am just going to remove this. Okay, now this is also using here. So let's, I'm going to refresh, and this is also showing here 12 and 10. So we can get the like params by the using of hooks, and we can use this by the, as we are using by the we are getting by the props as well, and we can get this by the use params hook as well. Okay, this is the use of use param hook. Okay, so next we are just going to use location. Okay, I am just in this, I'm not going in this, I will go here contact. Okay, I'm just going, I'm also going to import use location from React router DOM. Okay, so this is similar to the like window.location, so you can check in the JavaScript as well. Location. So let's console this location and console.log. Okay, so now we have here the path of our URL search has states. So when we want to get our path, then we can use this hook use location. Like on the basis of some path I want to like do something like, if our path, I'm just adding some condition here, dot path name, okay, equal to contact Okay, we can get this params value also in this way, use location. Okay, we can get this. In this case, I want to show contact, otherwise no contact. Like this, I want to show this. Okay, so I am getting contact. Okay, when I am going to reverse this condition, so no contact. So we can uh, use location. We can use location hook to get the path of our URL. Okay, this is, and we can, when we have the URL. Okay, so like in, I'm using this in about. Okay, I'm using this in about as well. So there is no use of location here. Let's check in the about. Like this, just wait. So now we are getting the URL in path name in this way. So we can using the split function, we can get the ID and name from in this way, but this is not the correct way. Okay, so we have other hook like use history hook. Use location is covered and use history. Okay, now use history. How we use history? Use history, like I'm just going to create here. uh, I'm just used to import here use history. Okay, use history, like we have a back button, and from this back button, after clicking on that, I want to go back from which URL and from which location I am just coming to my back page. So I'm just using history like this, and I'm just showing the functions as well. Okay, so I'm just going to update this component first in my like 123, like A, B, C, D. Okay, this is the my complete path. A, B, C, D. Okay, so component in my about us, I'm doing here history. Okay, I'm also like this. Okay, so this is the history object. Okay, so in this object, I am having a function go, and go back, go forward, location. The location, use location, all detail also coming here. We can get without using use location, we can get this object of use location hook value. We can get from this use history as well. Okay, and push. Okay, so and replace. So I'm just going to discuss few, like go, when, why we will use go. Like I'm just coming from home, and then I'm just going to contact us, and then I'm going to about. So I have a button here, and I want to directly go to the like second page. Like I'm coming from the home, and then I'm going to contact. So I want to miss this contact. I directly want to go to home. Okay, so we can use the home. So let's take the example. I'm just creating here BR. Okay, I'm just creating here one button, or here is go, and on click, I'm using a event on click, and here go there. Okay, I'm creating a function go there, and function. Okay, go there. and in this I'm using history. Okay, dot go. I'm passing -1. Okay, -1. I will go one step back. Okay, let's go here, and I'm just going to refresh. Okay, I'm home, and I'm just going to contact, and I'm just going to about us. When I will click on go, then I will my URL will change to the contact us. I will go back to the contact us, like click like contact us. Okay, now let's change this -2 to -1 to -2. Okay, now I'm on home. I'm going to contact us, and I'm just going to about us. When I will click here, as our value is -2, then I will miss this contact us. I will directly go back to two step. Okay, like this. When I'm going to click here, this I'm on home. So in this way, go work like this. Okay. Okay. So what is the use of go back? Go back. Okay. It is similar to the this is similar to the just like this. Go -1, only one step back. This is the similar like this. Go back. Okay. Like if I'm using this or I'm using this is the same. Okay. This is the same. So I need to remove this, and now let's check. I'm on home. I'm just going to contact us. Now I'm just going to, when I'm clicking, I'm on contact us. So this is similar to the like history, window.history. You can practice as you know, if you know the window.history. Okay. Push and replace. So this is the very important concept here, push and replace. Okay. Okay. Let's use the push. If I want to go, like I want to redirect my URL by some using the hard coded URL like this, like contact. Okay, I am just going to contact. Okay, I'm here, I'm on back, and I'm just going to click here. Then I'm going to directly on the contact. Okay, I'm not coming from the contact, I'm just coming from the home to about us. I'm just click. Okay, and in the case of replace, this will work similar. Okay, let's refresh. I'm just going to home. After that, I am here, I'm going to contact. So when these are the these are the push and replace is working same. So what is the difference in this? Means when we are using the push, it is generally use the URL, the like it is storing the new URL in the memory. But when we are using the replace, it is just replacing our current URL. Like we are on the home, so it is just replacing our current URL in the memory to this URL, in which when we will click on the go back. Okay, like I'm on this, and I'm just going to click here. So you can check that I'm not going to contact in this home page. In this, I'm coming from home, and I'm clicking, I'm just going here, I'm clicking here, I'm just going to contact, but I'm not going to home. Why? Because replace function is just replacing in the memory my URL home page. Okay, it's just replacing home page to the contact. Means okay, but in the case, let's check in the case of push. Go back, I am not using the go back here. Okay, but in the case of I'm just telling you where we use this. Like I have a test. Okay, I'm just going here, paint, I'm just using paint. Okay. Okay, this is paint. Okay, this is my test screen. Okay, and here I have a question queue, and here I have 1 2 3 4, this type of, and here is a button of submit. Okay, when I will click here, then I will go to the report page. Okay, report page, I will go here, report. Okay, like this. And here is a button also. This is a back back button. Okay, when I'm just going to submit, when I submit my test, I just go to the report. When I'm just click, I just go to the click on the back button. Then and I'm using the like history dot go back. In the case I'm using to redirect push, in the case of push, I it will just send me to this test screen. And in this test screen I am coming from the listing page, listing test, like test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. And here is the button start this test. So when I will click here, in the case of push, I will go back on the test, but it should go, when I click on the back, it should go here in the listing page. My test will be start from this listing page. Okay, in this listing page. So when I will use replace, then here uh, at the when I will going to click on the submit, then I will use, in place of push I will use replace. Then this report URL will replace this test URL. This test URL means this test URL will not exist in the history. So when I will go to, when I will click on the back button, it will then test URL will not available in the history. So and this listing page will be exist in the history. So back button, by the go back, it directly send me to the this page. Okay, so I think this is all about history. Okay, so now I have covered use history, all this. So now my final is multiple layout, final discussion. So how we can achieve the like multiple layouts, like in a website we have a front end, and we have a admin panel, and we have also, if we have some users like super admin, we have some other design, some layout, other design. So how we can get the like for the different routes, we can have the different layout, how we can have. So let's I'm just going to close this. Okay, so I'm just going to create here a folder, layout. Layout folder already exists here. Where is layout? Yes, here. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, now I'm just going layout. Okay, I have created a folder here, layout. In this folder I'm creating another folder like front end, and I'm just going to create one more here, admin. Okay, so I'm just going to create two layout here, one for the admin and one for the front end. So I'm just going to create here header component, header.jsx, and I'm just going to create one more component here, footer.jsx. In the admin panel I have one for left menu.jsx. Okay, and I will create here like admin.jsx. Okay, and I'm just using the React snippet like this. Okay, and also I'm just using the React snippet for creating this is left menu. Okay, created in same way. I will create a header component. This is admin header. I'm using like this, admin header. Okay, this is admin left menu. and in the footer using the React snippet, this this is admin footer. Okay, like this, and I will use this in my admin layout like this. I'm just going to header like this. Header is implemented, imported, and here left menu, and here footer. Okay, footer like this, and we will use children like children. Why I'm using children? Like header, footer, and for all the routes where I will use the admin layout, then this header, left menu, and footer will be the same. Only this component will be changed, and this will work. This layout will work as a parent of other components. Okay, let's see. In the same way, I'm just going into the front end, and in that I'm just creating a front end dot jsx. Okay. Using code snippet, this is okay. I'm just going to create header for front end layout using code snippet. This is front end layout. Okay, so I'm just going to one more here, footer dot jsx like this. This is front end footer. Okay, now I will import here like header, like footer. Okay, imported header and footer, and in same way I will use children here. If these are the class component, we will use the this dot props children. Okay, this is now I will use this layout on my, where is my app? Okay, I'm just going to import admin. Okay, like this I have imported admin. Now I'm just going to import front end like this. Okay, so I want to use this layout for this route. Okay, for then I will create one more in my layout. I will create one more component like AppRoute dot jsx. I'm just going to create, and here I have some piece of code. I'm just going to copy, and I'm just going to paste here. Okay, so here, like in this component, okay, we are having these props. First, it will accept a component. Okay, component, and this is layout. So what is component here? Component here is this about, like, and layout. If I am for the about, I am using the front end layout. This is the layout. Okay, and these are the rest is like the rest props. This variable is used for the rest props. All the props, other props will come here. Like if you have not used es6, then we can use by the three dots, we can use this variable and we can get all the rest parameter. Otherwise we need to define like this, like a b c. Okay, in this type we can get all the, like, all the props in this way. Okay, and here, like other way, other props like exact, path, this will come in the rest. And we will create this route, we will creating this route here I'm creating this. And other it's like exact and path I'm just going to like will be like this exact. And so I need to, there is some mistake, I need to like, this will be like this. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, path slash. Okay, when I'm using this is the similar, these are the using this and this is the similar. Okay, no difference in this. Okay, I think this is clear to you. In the render, there is also a props in the render in which we will render the layout. This is coming here, and this layout, as I have told you in when I was creating this layout, this will be the parent of this components. And in this component, if we have some props of the component, like I have used here, like this is the props, like name test. Okay, we have some props in this, then this will pass here. Okay, in this way we can create our multiple layouts. So I'm just going to importing this, I'm just going to import app route. Okay, now I will replace this route to app route. Okay, like this. Okay, and for this layout I'm just using like front end layout. So there is another props like layout I will use here. Okay, and for about layout, for about admin layout will work for about, and also admin layout will work for the contact, and for page not found it will work for the front end. Okay, so now we are this double using. Okay, now let's check. There is some error showing. React.js type invalid, in which class and functions, router.consumer. Not getting what is the error. Okay, I have used this layout AppRoute, so I have replaced here exact path component layout, everything is passed. And this and in render method consumer router.consumer. Something. route layout. Are you guys are you seeing any issue and anything here? Hello.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. Now we have route. Yeah, simplify this. The router consumer. Okay, so there is some issue, and we will discuss this in tomorrow meeting. Before that, there is I will check and find out what is the issue. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the recording, and we will discuss this issue in tomorrow meeting. So any